Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV here in front of a Leatherworker's Guild. So yeah, I wanted to look into this quest today. For Stormblood. Guildmaster XIV is surprised yet glad for your unexpected visit. Well, if it isn't my favorite leatherworker, I was certain you'd be too busy selling to lords and ladies in Ishgard to ever come visit. But you've come at a good time. I have need of a woman with your talents. We recently received a rather unusual request for a leatherworker. I wouldn't dare entrust it to the others, and I'm much too busy. If you have time to come visit, then I'm sure you can fit this into your schedule. Head down to the Shaded Bower and have a talk with Atalon. Tell her I sent you, and she'll explain everything. Serenia Shadowstar, a leatherworker's guild. Ah yes, Jeva has told me about you. A darling protege who gained some small bit of fame for services rendered here in Gridania and Ishgard. Well, your honors and accolades mean naught to Eorzea's premier naturalist Atolan. Henceforth, I and I alone shall be the judge of your worth. You should be happy, proud even, to assist me with my noble work. 'Tis not often one has the opportunity to serve as my lady and my dutiful apprentice. Daunted by my celebrity, I see. Why not? Under my careful guidance, your skills will be put to good use. This I can assure you. Until now, I've been collaborating with my first assistant, Marcette, to write articles for the New Eorzea Geographic. Though I would love to continue with my writings, a duty of much greater importance has drawn my attention. In my research of a calamity's effect on the environment, it has become clear that the abnormal rate at which the realm is changing far outstrips the pace of animal adaptation. Indeed, I fear certain species now face extinction, and what manner of naturalist would I be if I did not do all in my power to save them? Alas, time is not on our side, which is why in the event I'm not able to save these humble creatures, I would preserve them through taxidermy, that future generations may still gaze upon their splendor. That is why I conferred with Guildmaster Jeva, and you now stand before me. If you believe yourself capable of a task at hand, I shall make you my 72nd assistant. What say you? Confidence. Good. In time I will know if there's any talent to match. In any case, your contribution will not go unrecognized. You shall be duly credited in my next publication of a New Eorzean Geographic, etc. Now, your first task shall be a simple one. Speak with Research Assistant 71, Enyon, at the Carline Canopy. Well, what are you waiting for? Right, Carline Canopy, the inn room here. Oh, are you the leatherworker, Miss Antolan hired to help with a mounting? You volunteered? I mean, working under her is an unpleasant mind. It's just, well... Oh, who am I kidding? She calls us assistants, but I know the truth. We're just a bunch of servants to her. Calm down, come on. My name is Enyon, by the way. Number 71, the taxidermist, she calls me. To be honest, it's just a hobby, but she won't listen. She never listens. It's sad when animals die, you know? But when I mount them, it's like they never really left. So I practice every chance I get to make the best mounts I can. I'm not good at preparing skins, though. They're always so unsightly and mishappen when I've finished. Working with an honest-to-God's leatherworker like yourself, I bet they look so real folks will swear they're still breathing. I should probably be heading back, or else I'll upset Miss Atalan again. Anyway, it was nice to meet you. There you are. Honestly, did you get lost on the way back here? My time is quite precious, you know. Or I suppose it's important for peers to establish amicable relations. I forgive you. This time. Now that we have dealt with formalities, our team is assembled. The fledgling taxidermist who knows naught of leatherworking, and the leatherworker who likewise knows naught of taxidermy. Two halves that shall make a lovely whole. Under my sage guidance, the two of you shall make this place unlike anything the realm has ever seen. Yes, life like this place will preserve the beauty of the realm's blessed creatures now and forevermore. Future generations will look upon our mounds and envy the age when these animals proudly walked the earth. But first I must prepare. Selecting animals for mounting, finding an ideal venue, there's much to be done. I trust you make good use of this time to own your skills. Number 72. Ready to work, I see. Wonderful. Not long ago I was able to secure a location for our exhibition of animal mounts. A small clearing near the Leatherworkers Guild. Would have yet a more prominent location, but no matter. Considering the nature of our work and its purpose, the Leatherworkers Guild will do nicely. More importantly, I've selected our first specimen for mounting. The majestic Dalmel. This is no ordinary Dalmel we're looking for, mind. What we seek is the elusive Hanger Dalmel in the Sea of Clouds. To the untrained eye, they are indistinguishable from your average Dalmel. Upon close inspection, however, you will find they have hackles along their backs, which can appear quite pronounced when they are startled. As the numbers continue to dwindle, finding an ideal specimen will prove difficult. And the last thing we need is to exacerbate the problem of a declining population by killing one. No, we need to find a Dalmel that has recently passed on. This will require a skilled hunter, one familiar with the terrain. You wouldn't happen to know of such a person, would you? The Vanu, obviously. Why would you know of a Vanu? Never mind. If you believe you can convince them to assist us, I suppose it's worth a try. We must make for Oxundus once, then we will arrange an audience with her people. Let us be off. I never understand why she insists on rushing so. There you are, number 72. What have I told you about keeping me waiting? You must hurry and introduce me. And not to some piddling merchant or villager. I will settle for nothing short of a village elder. Yes, I should think it the ideal way to ensure our needs are met swiftly and without incident. These never-lixied Damels of Helge. Say no more. Zundu are honored to repay kindness of a great warrior who defeated the White. Excuse me for interrupting, but I could not help but notice your huts appear to be made using the bones of Dalmels. Yes, Zundul used Dalmels for many things. Their meat fills our belly. Their skin covers our backs, and as Neverling says, their bones build our homes. Quite impressive. It's not often I see game hunted and put to use so thoroughly. To take a life is to bear great responsibility. Nothing can be wasted. To ask for Damel so rare, we trust you understand this. To find fresh remains is no easy task. I will leave this to Sanu Vanu. He's our greatest hunter. You may wait here while he finds the Dalmel you seek. Thank you, Sunuvanu. Your kindness this day will be remembered for generations to come. Pardon me, Miss Atalan, but I'm awfully glad you've gone to such trouble to get a Dalmel. Really, I am. It's just... Well, I've never actually seen a live Dalmel before, and you've never seen a Dalmel before? By the 12th. How do you expect to fashion a suitable mannequin if you have never seen them for yourself? Dalmels of Helge are scarce, but all look very similar. If Neverlings would see Dalmels, you needn't travel far. When it's settled. Number 72, take number 71 to go and see the Dalmels. From their long, elegant necks down to their hoofs, you must become intimately familiar with their carriage. To the southeast of Zoxundu, they graze in great numbers. May zephyr winds carry you safely. The mouth should be close. We have to take a look around. Down where they are. There they are. Can you see them? We have to be sure to get a good look. Miss Atalan said we had to inspect every ilm of them. Target them and inspect them. Wasn't zoomed in enough, okay. Wow, this is much better than any picture. Look at its neck. Gosh, how I'm supposed to make a model that supports something that long. Alright, I think I have an idea of what to do. The neck may prove difficult though. Let's head back to Miss Atalan. Please, we need no payment. It is honor to help the great Neverling warrior. By number 71's look of excitement, I would assume you two have observed the Dalmels without incident. The one we've brought us a fine specimen. The hackles along its back and the divide of its hoofs are unmistakable. This is indeed a Hanger Dalmel. And by the condition of a body, it would seem its passing was not long ago. While the loss of any life is always a tragedy, let us take solace in the fact that its life ended peacefully. I know not what great deeds you have done that warrant such generosity, but I should hope your work on our Dalmel mount will warrant the same praise. I've called in for an airship to come and retrieve the Dalmel, though I fear it cannot carry us all. You adventurers often use ether rights for travel, yes? While we see to the Dalmel's delivery, pray use that ether right to return, and do try not to take too long this time. We shall wait for you at the clearing near the Leatherworkers Guild. Number 71 should be finished preparing the Dalmel's pelt by the time you arrive. Finally, you're here. As promised, the Dalmel's pelt is ready. If you are skilled as Jeva claims, you should have no trouble turning this into a splendid cape of highest quality. And please be careful with that pelt. I will not stand to see the Vanu's hard work go to waste. I would rather not bother them for want of another Dalmel so rare. When you have finished, deliver it to number 71. Together with his mannequin, we shall have the finest mount the realm has ever seen. Use the materials provided to craft the high-quality large Dalmel cape. Should your synthesis of proof unsuccessful, speak once more to leave another set of Select special recipes. Then story and lastly class quest. So this is special recipes. Story, class quest, large thermal cape. 5,000? That doesn't sound too hard. My mannequin is going to look great with that cape, I just know it. And where is it? Here. This is amazing. My skins are usually full of holes after removing all the fat. You've even kept all the coarse hair on the back. Miss Atalan was right to hire you. It's up to you now to see our mounts completed. Number 72, I would ask you observe this work. It should prove an educational experience. I'm not sure there's much to learn from watching me, but I do what I can. It's done. Piecing it together was harder than I thought. Then again, I've never made a mount this big before. Good thing I remembered what the one who said about Damel's bones back at Oxondu. They came in handy when I was working on my neck. I see. Meeting with Vanu was more beneficial to our work than I could have hoped. I couldn't have finished without Serenia though. There's no way I could fit a cape that big on a mannequin by myself. Nevertheless, it was an excellent start to our collection. Considering Delmel's products have gained popularity in Gidania, this is certain to draw the people's attention to our cause. That said, your work is far from finished, my dear assistant. Before we set to work on our next mount, however, I would gauge reactions to our first creation. In the interim, pray reflect on what you've done thus far, and see if there's aught you can do to refine your skills. Through your deepening insight into the sanctity of life, you've learned quality assurance. Focused synthesis. Shame, I can't read the plaque. The glimmer in Atalan's eyes most likely means she has a task for you. Ah, number 72. Have you heard word of our work? Of course you have. How could you not when our Demel is a talk of the town? Yet even so I find it curious no one has inquired about its distinctive hair and roofs. You'd think such stark differences from our typical Demel would compel even a handful of people to ask. No matter, it will be all we can do to keep inquiries at bay when we present them with our next mount, the Mighty Bear. Not just any bear might, but the rapacious Grizzly Bear, indigenous to the lands bordering Gerbania. Sadly, the food that serves as a staple to their diet has grown increasingly scarce in the wake of the calamity, and as their food supplies dwindle, so do their number. Though there is little we can do to restore their primary source of sustenance, we can still do our part to let people know of their plight. Now then, make your way to East End. When you arrive, I would suggest speaking with the soldiers stationed at Custom Orients to learn precisely where the bears can be found. I shall remain here to watch over the Dalmar Mount, and for any wayward souls that may seek enlightenment. You heard, Miss Atalan. Let's get going to Gerbanium. Hopefully the soldiers can point us in the right direction. You know, when you want people to ask about the specific differences between these special Dalmals and the normal ones, maybe you should have a mount of a normal Dalmal as well for comparison. We can ask more people if we split up. Could you try asking about the eastern side of the base? I'll stay around the main gate and see what I can learn. You're after Grizzly Bears. There used to be plenty of them in the south near Billermill. Can't say I see too many of them now though. So there used to be a lot of bears near Bittermill. I guess the food they like to eat must have grown there. If it still does, there may be a few bears in the area. Let's have a look. Are you alright? I thought I was safe when I reached Bittermill, but instead I only found more monsters to chase me. It wasn't all bad though. When I was running I saw a grizzly bear near the river. Come on, maybe there's one we can use for a mount. It's dead. And look at these scars. I'm not sure if we can use this for a mount, but I doubt we'll like to find another one. I suppose it wouldn't hurt to try. Can you help me ready the pelt? You skin the bear, but its pelt is marked with gashes. Well, I suppose we have our pelt. A shame it's in such poor condition. Let's head back to Gridania for now. Maybe Miss Atalan can think of something to do with it. Finally, you're back. If you deign to keep me waiting this long, I can only assume you've brought an immaculate specimen for the exhibition. No. This pelt is ruined. What's the meaning of this? What happened? I'm sorry, Miss Atalan. The grizzly bear was already covered in scraps and scars when we found it. There was no telling when we'd find another, so we skinned it as best as we could and came back. I see. I appreciate your effort, but I'm afraid there's nothing we can do with a pelt in such poor condition. We can use it to make something else. If you believe you can make something of this pelt, then perhaps. The only question is what? Miss Atalan, Serenia, could you make it into clothing? Something I can wear as a reminder of a bear's sacrifice and why we're working to make these animal mounts. An excellent idea, number 71. Number 72, I imagine working with a skin such as this will prove difficult, so I would suggest making something simple. A nice pair of gloves, perhaps? That was a bear! It was a bear! A grizzly bear! Even if a pelt is bad, surely you can make something a little bigger than gloves from all that skin, even if it is smart? When you're finished, give them to number 71. Okay, Grizzly Bear gloves. I know the pelt is in rather poor state, but I hope you can manage to make something of it. Wow, you really did it! These gloves look amazing. I certainly hope they'll fit alright. Working bear skin into gloves is no easy feat, but the durability and resilience to cold makes it worth the effort. Why, you can scarce even notice the material was tarnished prior to the making. The leather is so smooth, it's like nothing ever happened. Thank you so much, Serenia. I cherish them always. You've done well, number 72. Though I wish to add a grizzly bear to our collection of animal mount, I will not ask that you risk the danger of Gearbania for another. Scarce as they are, I doubt you will find one. These gloves must serve as testament to the rarity of this poor creature, now on the brink of extinction. But there's still myriad species of equally dire straits. It's up to us to make the realm aware of their struggles, and to preserve their grace and beauty for future generations. Indeed, our work is far from over. Until I've decided on our next subject for mounting, I pray you will use the time wisely and prepare. A freaking rope. No, I just took the ruby coatie already. I think it's better to take something else this time. Through your deepening insight into the sanctuary of life, you learn manipulation. And focus touch through a level up. Number 72. Come to bask in the splendor of our Dummel Mount, I see. Well, this is no time for gawping, rather it's time to resume our work. A pity we could not add a bear to our collection, but even alone, the Dummel has garnered no small amount of attention. On more than one occasion, I've even seen people stopping to read the signboard I posted. I can't believe so many people are coming to see something I helped to create. The next mount will be even better. Outrageous! How dare this happen without my consent? So this is why everyone has been crowding about the Leatherworker's Guild of late? What sort of sick, twisted joke is this? It's one of the heroes. What does he want with us? I assure you, sir, this is no joke. This mount was fashioned in an attempt to the elemental sweep for this poor creature. How they cry out in anger. An affront to the 12th, whatever it ever was. To ignore is to invite the green wrath upon us all. You three, are you responsible for this? By order of a Conjurer's Guild, I demand you take down the grotesquerie at once. Take it down? But all of our hard work. The nerve of that man. It took every ounce of my being to hold my tongue. That close-minded fool, how can he not see the benefit of our work? The opportunity we offer Gudanis to learn about animals that live beyond the borders of the 12th Wood. And he dares to call himself a hero? How he abuses his position that he might do as he pleases. The sight of him is enough to make my skin crawl. Calm down, calm down. Excuse me, I got a little carried away there. Though it pains me to concede to such swine, we cannot deny the will of the elementals. I have no doubt one of your talents could quickly resolve the situation, but this requires a more civilized approach. Indeed, we must settle this in a matter as befitting naturalists. The Leatherworker's Guild is certain to have dealt with similar opposition in the past. Number 72, go and speak with Jeva and see what advice she has to offer on the matter. The woman of the hour, with everyone stopping by to have a look at that mount outside, I knew it was only a matter of time before you came. What can I do for you? Did they now? You know, there was a time when leather goods were criticized as being extravagant and wasteful. It took a great deal of effort on the part of the leather workers here, but eventually opinions changed. We had to prove what they made was worth the cost of life sacrificed in the process. Unless you can do the same with your mounts, you won't be convincing the heroes of anything. We're not hunting the things. We're literally looking for corpses. Actually, it gives me an idea. I need to prepare a few things first though. In the meantime, I would have you attend to something else. We're going to need a Damalskin jacket, and I can think of none better than you to make it. Besides, it's been too long since I've seen your work. Randall will have everything you need at the front desk. When you've finished, I should have everything ready for the next step in my plan. Good to see you. I trust you've been keeping busy. Goodness knows we have all these commissions we've received of late. But enough of my ramblings. As Guildmaster Jeva tells it, you have much work to do. Here's the Damal leather as requested. If you should have need of more, pray do not hesitate to ask. And, how's that jacket coming along? I hope my faith in you after all this time hasn't been misplaced. You've impressed me, Serenia. I was worried you might have forgotten what you learned here, but it's clear you've done quite the opposite. Well done. Excuse me, is Serenia here? Miss Atalan wants to speak with her. She said it's quite urgent. Right on time. Come here for a moment. I need you to try on this jacket. A jacket? What about Miss Atalan, and who are you anyway? This is a jacket? There we are. How's the fit? It's actually quite nice. I usually hate leather clothing because they're so stiff when new, but this is quite soft. It's fairly light and warm too. I imagine whoever uses this will be grateful to have it. Then keep it, I guess. It's time we move on to the next part of my plan. A Leatherworker's exhibition with a jacket on display. But there's no time for an exhibition. We're busy enough as is fighting to keep our Dermel mount. Which is precisely where we'll be putting them on display together. The mere mention of an exhibition will be enough to draw a sizable crowd. Which will afford Atalan an opportunity to teach people about the endangered Dermels of Abalafia. I've already reserved Miketo's amphitheater. All we need now are the mounts she would have on display. That's a great idea, miss. I'll go and inform her right away. Miss? He hasn't the slightest idea who I am, does he? I suppose it can't be helped for now. Be sure to give Atalan my regards. Yup. Oh, number 72. If only you had come sooner. I left only for a moment, but in my absence, Marmaduke and his gaggle of goons made off with our mount. What came of her talks with Jeva? I should hope some good may come yet of all our effort. Instruction using the guise of a Leatherworker's exhibition. Yes, that just might work. Jeva has ever been one with an eye for opportunity. First we must deal with Marmaduke and his attempts to deny the good people of Gridania an opportunity to enlighten themselves. Before our work was stolen, I took it upon myself to speak with an associate of mine, another hero of a conjurer's guild. When I broached the subject of our mount and the elemental's apparent dissatisfaction with using animal skins in such a fashion, he was completely and utterly bewildered. In truth, neither the heroes of a conjurer's guild nor the Tsetse have expressed any opposition to our work. Marmaduke merely uses the elementals as an excuse to impose his ideals on others. Well, he's not the only one with influence in Gridania. One way or another, we shall have a mount for our exhibition. Reflect. Okay, level 70. Atalan? I've exhausted every resource at my disposal, but I can't find neither hide nor hair of a Dermel mount. I hoped it would not come to this, but we have no choice but to fashion a new mount. As a precautionary measure, I've already decided on our next specimen, the majestic Gargana. Those gargantuan birds in Gearbania? I never realized they were endangered. I do not speak of a common Gargana. What we seek is a three-feathered Gargana. They are quite rare and sought for in fine goods. Their population has dropped markedly over the years. Unfortunately, this means I must put the two of you in harm's way. If it means having a mount for the exhibition, then we at least have to try. The Garganas live in the fringes, right? I'll go ahead to Custom Orients and see if anyone knows where to find them. See you there, Serenia. I'm afraid we have a problem, Serenia. I've spoken with everyone who would care to listen, and no one has seen a three-feathered Gargana here in quite some time. It's as Miss Atalon said, the plumage of a three-feathered Gargana is, or was, highly sought for Gearbanian finery. Before the calamity, when Balamut slowly began its descent, they say the public grew panicked. Believing the world might come to an end, people began squandering their money on things they normally couldn't afford. Clothing made from three-feathered Gargana was desired above all. Demand declined after the calamity, but it was too late. They never recovered from the overhunting. Mr. Alone was counting on us to find one for the exhibition. I don't want to return to her empty-handed. Did anyone say why they are so valuable? The feathers have a lustrous sheen unique to a three-feathered Gargana. Other than that, I bet most people couldn't tell the difference between... Wait, that's it! While it's true the three-feathered Gargana was valued for the sheen of its feathers, the greater distinction between it and other Gargana lies in the distribution of feathers on its body. Do you think if we found a normal Gargana you could change the arrangement of its feathers? It will be difficult with only books for reference, but I'm certain a leatherworker of your caliber can do it. Leave it to me. Then there's still hope for the exhibition. Mr. Talan was lucky to find a leatherworker like you to help us. And if we're going to make a convincing mount, we need a good mannequin, and I've never seen a Gargana in person before. Let's see if we can find some. I heard they nest around yeah. I hope I can actually reach the area. Okay. Finally managed to reach a fun place. Took a long while because I needed main story progress. Namely, I needed to unlock this gate here so I could get through up here. I never realized the Gargana was such a beautiful and majestic bird. If it's alright with you, I'd like to observe them for just a while longer. The quest was this one. No idea what voice I gave the boy. I think I'm ready to head back. Our Gargana mount is going to be great. At least I hope it is. Can I ask you a question? I know Miss Atalon means well and all, but Mama Duke is absolutely furious. If other people are just as angry, maybe we shouldn't be making another mount? What do you think? We've come too far to run away now. You're right. It's true we had a few setbacks, but Mr. Talon is counting on us. If I'm going to be a real taxidermist someday, I have to do everything I can to make this one perfect. Let's head back to Bidania. She'll want to know what we have planned. At last you returned with nary a scratch. Anion told me everything. Pity you were unable to find a true three-feathered Gargana. I knew sights of a bird had grown scarce over the years, but I never imagined the situation was so dire. Your plan is to recreate the three-feathered Gargana using the pelt of a normal one, is that right? This is no small task you place upon yourself. With the exhibition fast approaching, we can afford no mistakes. If all goes as planned, this will be your final task for me. Of a more reason, I shall accept nothing short of perfection. Though I love being made to wait, I will make an exception for this. Handle the pelt with care and do not give it to 71 until you are absolutely satisfied with your work. If anything should happen to it, inform me immediately that I might procure another. My leatherworker already has the level 70 equipment. So that was rather easy. Have you finished? I just know this Gargana is going to look great. This is incredible. It's a spitting image of a three-feathered Gargana. I can already picture the look on the people's face when they see my mannequin dressed with this. It's going to be our finest mount yet. The placement of plumage on this pelt is immaculate. Well done, number 72. Now I must be off to the amphitheater. I've posted flyers all about Gridania to ensure our destined audience is in attendance. Everything must be ready for his arrival. Be careful with that pelt number 72. And remember, nothing less than perfection will suffice. I was hoping people would be excited to see our mount up there, but they actually seem kind of mad. We worked so hard on it though. I'm sure Miss Atterland can make them understand. There he is. Just when I thought Gridania had reclaimed some modicum of decency, you will suspend this farce of an exhibition at once. Silence! I will hear no more of your fabricated tales of the elementals. Our work is not a mockery of these animals, but a tribute to their majesty. If you would cease your blustering for one moment, I will explain to you and the good people here in attendance why. Thank you for gathering here today. I wish to speak with you regarding a matter of great concern, one often overlooked in the hustle and bustle of our lives here in Gridania. To start, I would have you consider this, the free-feathered Gargana. A rare breed highly valued by the people of Giabania. Before the calamity, as Dalamut began its boatful descent, demand for this bird's plumage would see its population drop substantially. Its natural habitat has undergone drastic change since then, so much so that some believe there may be none left. The Damel, which once stood outside the Leatherworkers Guild, represented a species that also struggled with a declining population. As the environment continues to undergo radical changes, these innocent creatures and countless others will be pushed to the brink of extinction. We obviously cannot bend the laws of nature to return the world to what it once was, but we can still do our part to preserve their homes and what few of them remain. We must also show restraint in our hunting, lest their peers become endangered as well. Take for an example this jacket crafted from Damel hide. Demand for its leather has gone noticeably of late. What do you suppose will happen as more hunters are drawn to the Sea of Clouds? Seeing only the products born of their hides, it's far too easy to forget the sacrifice of these animals. We must protect them as we do the balance of life here in the 12th Wood. To do otherwise would be a grievous squandering of resources. You want to talk? What is this display other than a waste of skin? You claim it has an educational purpose, but one could simply read a book. And you have read such a book? I should hope you have, that you are highly knowledgeable as a result, given that you went clothing made from their hides. Well... What about you? Do you know anything of Damels or Garganas? These people have a right to know what is happening to the world outside of Gridania, to know the cost of the goods they would otherwise take for granted. Hero Marmaduke, perhaps now you would be willing to consider the merit of Atalan's work. These mounts are not meant to offend anyone. They are a lasting reminder of a life sacrificed for the clothing on our backs, and a tool to arouse interest in the study of animals that so many would otherwise ignore. You might think these specimens a grim reflection of their living counterparts, but they preserve a truth that mere words cannot express. Surely you understand the virtue in that? More than you realize, for it is my duty, nay, my privilege to hearken to their elementals and bear witness to such truths, that we might maintain the delicate balance of life here in the Shroud. I see now you wish only to share with these people knowledge I have long taken for granted. I would ask your forgiveness for my recent wrongdoings. The Twelfthwood suffered greatly in the calamity, and in the years since it has only grown weaker. The sight of your mounts was more than I could bear. But through the sacrifice of these few, countless more may be saved. If your creations serve to bring these good people wisdom and instill in them a greater respect for the blessed creatures in this land, then I will condemn them no longer. Then I will carry on, for it is my duty to illuminate the dark with the light of knowledge. Before I continue, I must first give thanks to my two skilled artisans who made this possible. My darling assistants, the aspiring taxidermist who pieced together the splendid Gargana mount, and the gifted leatherworker who prepared both the jacket and Gargana pelt. It's been far too long since I lectured before an audience so large. I hope I didn't bore them. You were perfect, Miss Atalan. They were hanging on your every word. And did you see how everyone was admiring the Gargana mount? Today was a great day. Indeed it was. A great many people learned a valuable lesson, thanks in no small part to the two of you. And with that, I do believe my work here is done. Enion, Serenia, you have my sincerest thanks. Come on, you two. When my assistants are deserving of praise, I will not hesitate to give it. Even I have to admit that Gargana mount was quite impressive. It's not often the amphitheater draws a crowd like that. Between that and the lecture, I'd say the exhibition was a resounding success. Thanks for the compliment, but building the mannequin was the easy part. Serenia is the one who made the incredible cape to dress it. She's been like a big sister, looking out for me every step of the way. Now that we've finished, though, I think I'll stay in Gridania a while longer. There's still a lot I need to learn about leatherworking, and I have plenty left to share about making animal mounts. Well, well, look. It's like I have a new recruit. Don't think I'll go easy on you just because you're a friend of Serenia's either. Rather the contrary. Wait, you're the guildmaster? I thought you were just a friend of hers. I admit I was doubtful of your abilities as a leatherworker, but I'm grateful to have been proven wrong. Thanks to you, we have touched the hearts and minds of a good many people here in Gridania. But this is only the beginning. When I publish results of our work here, all corners of the realm shall know of a great naturalist Atalan. Indeed, the shining star that is my career has only begun to shine. Did I not tell you? Not long after I finished my lecture at the amphitheater, reservation for the next publication of New Eorzea Geographic began to pour in. What's more, Hira Marmaduke plans to speak with the Elder Seedseer to have my publication instated as a reference work for the Seedseer's Council. I left Marset to manage the better part of my research and writings, but this will require nothing short of my undivided attention. My work must be thorough and comprehensive. I foresee much traveling as well. Yes, across the whole of Eorzea, and then the world. Perhaps we'll meet again on a distant shore. Should that day come, I would be honored to receive your assistance once more. Well, as they say, everything that ends well, everything's well that ends well, right? Okay, and with that I end this episode. Was recorded a bit choppy, but what can you do, right? Until next time, I'm Mace, and don't get lost.